second. Please give me just a sec to get everything situated. I am running ever so slightly behind today. Apologies, that's why I started a minute late. Let me just recap. Okay. But hello. So, hopefully everyone is doing good today. Hello, Pokemon. Hello, Gideoneer. Hello, Wolf with Sword. Nice to see you. Hello, Ty. Thank you for resubscribing. Very much appreciated. Never necessary. Always appreciated. Hello, Drop Frame. Hey, Brink. Welcome in. Thank you, Sparks, for resubscribing. And hello, Sparks. And then thank you as well, Gideoneer, for resubscribing. And hello, Gul and Alex. I think that is just about everyone. And thank you for resubscribing, Alex. It's very much appreciated, never necessary. So, guys, happy Monday. We will be starting a new project today. Thank you, Mobile Armor, for the 1 bit. We'll be starting a new project today, which I'm not sure how long it's gonna take us. If you guys can read the title, it is slightly ambitious. We get a little ambitious here, just like Wolf would say. We just get the tiniest bit ambitious. So we will be making a blood glucose and carbon monoxide snackometer, which, yeah, blood glucose. So we are going to be reverse engineering a blood glucose machine, or like, we will be reverse engineering this. A blood glucose meter. I actually have multiple of these, but yeah, we shall see how it goes. I have some doubts. Okay, so hear me out. Let me cook, okay? Let me cook for a second. So the blood glucose meter... Okay, so this is essentially making a thing that says, hey, you cannot have a snack, or hey, you can have a snack. That is what we are trying to make. So ideally, your blood glucose essentially shows if you've eaten recently, or if your blood sugar is too high. It's typically used in diabetics to check their blood sugar in both type 1 and type 2 diabetics. However, we... Snack Management System, SMS. Yeah, Simple Message System. Also, is my stream still live for y'all? Just making sure that we are good. I see the crayon spreadsheet. Yes, okay, cool. So yes, so we are going to have both machines. So blood glucose is pretty obvious. If it's too high or too low, you know that you need a snack, or you know you need to eat, or you know that you cannot eat. So that's pretty straightforward. However, hold on, let me scooch it down just a little bit. The second one is a carbon monoxide sensor. So what this guy is going to be able to do is tell you if you are actively digesting something, or can be used. So if you hold everything else equal, except for eating something or not eating something, your levels should be picked up in this. I believe you burn slightly more carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide whenever you are digesting. So I believe this should work as well. So what we are going to do is make a dual sensor. We are going to attempt to make a dual sensor. I want to say that this is a pretty ambitious project. There's a high probability of failure. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started though. I'm just going to disassemble this guy. I have multiple of these. No, we won't be doing that, Pokemon. It might take more than a week, but I'm invested. Yeah, I'm kind of curious how this is going to turn out, all things considered. So, for those of you who do not know how a blood glucose meter works, typically, you have these things called you have a little poker. Hold on. Let me see if I can show you guys. Okay. I'm not going to actually use it right now, because that would be slightly painful. We should have some lancets. Okay. So essentially you have a little device, you load in lancets, and then you press the little button once you have it loaded, and you get a very small, puncture. Ideally. It's been a while since I've used one of these. I've used them in school, but I have not used them since then. So hopefully I remember how to use it properly. But yeah, I think it's usually you just, usually you load in the lancets and then you pull it back and then it's ready to fire and then you fire. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it, but that noise right there, that's what it is. Then you have to load it with these little, like, things that puncture you, and they're one use. So yeah, that's what we will be doing. I'm not going to demonstrate this now, and I will probably do so off camera, but we will be using it periodically. I do not have a choice around it, as far as I'm aware. So yeah. Okay. Automatic stabbing tie should be... What was that? Will you be teaching us the carbon monoxide mechanism in the digestion cycle? No, I will not be teaching it. I will merely be taking advantage of it. So you can still buy a monkey or a pig for testing. No, that's very unethical. I would never do such a thing. So let's go ahead and get this guy disassembled. I have no idea how to disassemble this. So we're going to be in for a little bit of a treat as we try to see a dolphin open a device. But yeah. So guys, tell me about your weekend. Hopefully everyone had a pretty good weekend. I am feeling so refreshed. I'm ready to be back. I'm ready to be back at work. I'm ready to, like, I'm just ready, you know? Ready to do fun stuff, ready to do some new stuff. We'll try prying it open, I think is the best bet. Because I don't see anything in here. Yeah, I think we'll pry it. Don't go to the SciComm mines? What? Again, so give me just a second to pry this guy open. Or hopefully pry this guy open. I should be able to. Like, surely, right? First day back at work. Since my heart attack, no one covered my work, so I'm going to be working late to catch up. Oh, I'm sorry. That is pretty rough. Start work tomorrow because Holiday Monday is a joke. Yeah, Holiday Mondays are usually kind of a joke, but, you know, I prefer them. Any screw in the back? No, so there's no screws in the back here that I can see. And then if you pop open this guy, where the battery is typically held, I don't see it. So I don't think there is. I'm just going to slowly pry bar it open. So don't mind me. I'm just going to pry bar and talk a little under the label. See, that's why they pay you the big bucks, dude. That's why they pay you the big bucks. I'm not sure if I can even get under this, but I will try. Give me a moment. So, also, welcome in, TMKDK. Hopefully you're doing well. And also, iTwins, hello. Okie dokie. Let's just get this guy open. Oh! Dude, that's why they pay you the big bucks, dude! That's why they pay you the big bucks. I do need a screwdriver, though. Okay, so I need a little screwdriver. So I'd like to note, again, this is probably going to be a bit more of a lengthy project. But we shall see how long it actually takes when all things are done. Are there any other stickers that we can... Okay, I think that should help. Hello, Linted. Good morning. Good morning, Linted. Very good morning to you. Again, dude, I don't know. I'm just happy. Like, I got good rest over the holidays. I'm ready to start streaming again. And even though I streamed over the holidays, but, like, I'm ready to stream, ready to work, ready to do fun stuff, ready to make progress on the year. I can't wait until this project breaks me down to my mental breaking point. You know? Average Monday. One sec. This project might require documentation. Yes, so it is likely going to require some documentation. But we shall see how difficult it is. I really don't want to damage the circuitry if possible. That would be ideal. Peeking in here while writing documentation, that's good. Alright, so this helps me none. Okay. I was worried about this. I'm just gonna unscrew here and here. That should get it off the board. My work project makes me actively... Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's okay. There's always going to be projects like that. But you just gotta, you gotta persevere. Also, welcome in, Useful Reptile. Hopefully you're doing well today. Hopefully you're writing fun documentation. Then again, documentation could never be fun unless your name is Wolf with Sword. At least I've never had fun writing documentation. Okay. Oh dear gosh. Alright. So, we aren't gonna get much from this. Which I was kinda hoping we would. I was kinda hoping we would. Oh, this has an MSP 430. That's cute. Okay. So it actually has a microcontroller that I'm familiar with on the plus side. Let's go ahead and see. I think that should be fine. Okay. So, again, so we have our microcontroller here. I was hoping we'd be able to hack into this guy similar to what we did with our, TENS unit. However, I now believe that that is going to be extremely difficult, if not impossible. Wait, Wolf's not a mod? Huzzah? Exactly. Look at that weird footprint. Did they isolate it from the ground with a footprint like that? Or didn't they populate it? I don't know how they did this design. Let me see if I can get this guy out. Unless you can hack the sensor. I think, again, I will sooner probably just make my own sensor. Or a set of sensors. I know in theory how these guys work. It's just a matter of getting it. Because in theory, this guy should only be... This guy shouldn't be that difficult. I'm wondering how much of this is monitor-based and how much of this is actually needed circuitry. Okay. Sorry, just taking a look. Or switch plus. What's the plus for? I don't know what you mean by the plus. If we flip it around. So again, blood goes in there. Testing strip. I'm gonna strip this guy out. This gray little latch. I'm gonna see if I can get it off without damaging too much. Okay. Let's take a look under there. Alright, so we basically have some connection leads. Oh, let me see if I can zoom in. What are we concerned about? There looks like there was a plan for an RF chip, but only the footprint left. It's probably TMDK. It's probably it was probably cheaper to spin the fab for it and then just not put the chip on it for both, if I had to guess. This is probably like the more basic model, yeah. Yeah, so this guy would probably just be a this guy here would probably just have been for another purpose, anyhow. Okay, what can I do with this? Again, so the main thing that we're taking in, it's not RF because there's no antenna. Let me see. I don't see an antenna on it or attached. Though you can make antennas out of almost anything now. Let me flip it back over. Yeah, no, I don't see any antennas. Test your blood sugar? I'm not going to be testing my blood sugar right now. Again, so it should just be a matter of getting these test leads in place and then getting values off of that. Okay. Which means if you manage to add, which means you can wonder if the main chip has all the functions to process it, but just checks for existence, which means you can manage to add one to yourself for profit. Yeah, I don't see one. I do not see the antenna, but I'm not overly great at PCB design. I don't claim to be an expert. Okay. Right, so we're gonna have to go with the other system on this. Okay. I was expecting this device to be simpler, to be perfectly honest. I was expecting some complexity, but dang. We got our work cut out for us. So essentially we have to duplicate this. So the simplest way is that if you see here, essentially what's going to happen is that, let me get a test strip out. Test strip. Okay. Oh, thank you, Bard, for the hydration check. I appreciate it, and I will make sure to hydrate. I do have some tea. Oh, also, I'm supposed to jingle keys for you guys. Sorry. Sorry, I was supposed to jingle keys. This is what you guys wanted. I could have opened a pack of cards. You could have asked me a personal question, and I would have answered it. But instead, you wanted me to jingle keys. Time to copy the keys. These are blanks. If you didn't think I didn't think of that ahead of time, you've got another thing coming. Okay. Yeah, these are actually on the, actually, another thing that's interesting. So if you check out the silk screen, well, other way. It's an MSP 430, which is actually a TI chip from a few years back. Probably like 5-6 years back. It's actually pretty good. I have a lot of experience with this chip. I wish we could have used it. Oh well. Anywho. Okay. Onwards and upwards. Onwards and upwards. Just gonna loosely place this guy back in. Goes this way up. Okay. So I'm going to get started with the carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide sensor first. I do have to do a tiny bit of soldering. So to get myself up to speed and, you know, kind of in the debugging mode, we gotta get this guy soldered. If we did the personal question, would you have answered? Obviously no doxing. Yes. So long as it was a no doxing question, I was going to answer. I wouldn't have put it as a, like, I wouldn't have put it as a possible result otherwise. I got a discounted MSP 430 kit when it was first introduced. Nice! Is that sensor for CO2? I'm sorry. For ECO2, I believe it's for monoxide, so carbon monoxide. Well, so it's an SGP30 if you want to look it up. And yeah, it's the this is a sensor we'll be soldering real quick. So give me a moment. No, you're good, dude. You're icy. Quick, I2C. SGP30? Yes, that is correct. Oh my gosh, did they really put one extra pen? Okay, they're the worst type of people. They're the worst type of people. They're making me, like, clip stuff. They're bad people. Oh, that is ECO2? Sure. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get this guy set up. Let's see, we want it like this, and solder it on the back here. They just wanted to make sure you had enough. Yeah, that's fair, but at the same time, I feel like that makes it a lot more difficult. I would rather them just have put the right amount. But I guess it's personal preference. Anyways. Anywho, number 2. So they probably just passed in. Oh, that's a meat peon. Oh, okay. Oh, so hello, Ryu. Welcome in. And Zandria. If I didn't already say hello to y'all. Alright, it's laying pretty flat. Yeah, that's gonna be fine. Okay. I'm just going to solder this real quick. Shouldn't need helping hands. We found this way or this way? This way, probably. Oh my gosh, what if this is difficult? I mean, obviously this is going to be difficult, right? Oh yes, so this project is also... This is very similar than the one I use. Wait, are you a Krelly fan, Brink? Are you a Krelly enjoyer? The one thing I got out of your statement instantly, it was, are you a Krelly enjoyer? Okay, let me just take a quick drink of water. Okie dokie. Alright, we're looking good. There's nothing wrong with being a Krelly enjoyer. I was there for like 30 minutes and got gifted a sub. Okay. Dude, I feel like that's more suspicious than just saying, yes, I'm a Krelly fan. I feel like that's ever so slightly more suspicious. Depends on who you ask. I don't know. Happened to me a couple of months ago. I dabble in a lot of YouTubers depending on what they're doing. Oh, okay. Very cool. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this guy tinned and going. Okay, should be good. Let's see. What did I do with my... Oh, guys. Guys, I did a stupid this weekend. I did a slightly stupid thing this weekend. Krelly's a bit too high energy for me most days. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so... For a little bit of context, my dad likes flying RC planes and tinkering with that type of stuff. So he has RC planes, and he got all of us, meaning the children, and, like, my nephew, like, planes. Like, not, like, super nice planes, but fairly nice RC planes, like, controllable ones. I don't really know the emote. Oh, those emotes are great. No, TMDK. It's to determine if we're allowed to have a snack. Anyways, so we got the RC planes, and they were like, they were pretty cool. They were pretty cool, and at first I didn't have. Oh my gosh, that's way too much solder. Oh my gosh, that's so much solder. Hold on. That's gonna have to do. Okay. 1 second, maybe I should pay attention. The sensor's not exactly free. 1 second. Okay, there we go. The last ones are fine. Gonna ask our resident soldering expert. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, so anyways, we got the RC planes, and I didn't go with them the first time when they flew them, because we were just, like, flying them as a family or whatever. Let's take a quick look at our solder job. Again, this one's not that good, but the rest I think are fine. Um, okay, I think that will do. Um, okay. All right, so we got the RC plane, and I didn't go with them the first time, and they had a lot of fun, and I was kind of guilt tripped into going with them for the second thing, because I was still kind of recovering from something. But yar. Okay, so anyways, I show up, it's a bit windy, right? Just a little bit windy. Just a little bit windy. So, at first, let me just paint a picture for you guys, while I'm tinkering a little. We are going to need we're gonna need quite a few parts. Okay. Do you have solder wick? It's very useful if you have too much. Yes, I do. I don't think this is too much, though, that it's going to cause issues. I could be wrong, but I don't think that's going to cause any issues. Again, like, I'm just worried, or like, we're just slightly worried that this one has slightly too much solder, but if you see, there's still clearly gap. Yeah, but we could have done better. We could have done better. You know, 4 out of 5 is not bad. Anyways, let me get out some components. Let me paint the picture again. So, we go to, like, a local school kind of thing that is not too far from... That's not too far from all of us. We go in the parking lot, like a big parking lot during the weekend. So it's not... it would fail LED ID, but it would function. LED ID? Sorry. So anyways, it's like a big parking lot, and we all, like, get out our planes. We start flying them around. I've never flown an RC plane, by the way, before, but they had. So they were like, "Oh yeah, you just press up on the throttle and you like do this thing to turn left and right, and you can press like buttons to do other things." I'm like, "Oh, okay, neat." So we're doing this stuff, and it's a little windy, just ever so slightly windy. No, you don't see where this is going, Ty. I promise you, you don't. It's just ever so slightly windy. Ever so slightly windy. But the plane is still flying. It's still flying. It's still going okay. It's still going okay. As it tends to go okay. Hold on. I just need to pull open glucose. Okay. As long as nothing exploded, it's okay. No, so I get the little battery. Did you crash the RC plane? Oh, no. Okay. So I crashed the RC plane several times. Like, several times. And it's like one that's kind of meant to crash. So it's not like one of the nicer ones that my dad has that, like, if you crash it, it's kind of jover. It's one that's meant to be crashed or, like, landed toughly. Like, it's fine if it takes a little fall, okay? Keyword little. If it takes a little fall, it's fine. It's fine. So anyways, I had troubles, like, getting mine off the ground. Like, more than just a few, like, inches. Or more than just, like, a few feet. Like, I would get it to fly, and then it would, like, immediately go down onto the ground. And what I do is I ask my brother-in-law, like, "Oh, hey, how does this work?" And he's just like, "Oh, I just put the throttle up all the time." I'm like, "Okay." So I just, like, turn the throttle all the way up. Plane goes flying off, and I'm just, like, kind of flying it around, kind of trying. I go to turn it in the parking lot. So, like, imagine that this is the school. Hold on. Imagine this is the school. This is our little parking lot. And we're just, like, flying around. And I'm barely flying around. And I start heading towards the school. And they're like, "Oh, stop it. You want to turn it before it runs into the wall or runs into the school." So, unfortunately, it goes right over. No, no, no. It goes right over, like, onto the roof and just, like, keeps flying onto the roof or past the roof and, like, oh, well, this is a gone plane, right? No. The plane disappears for like 5 to 10 seconds. Okay? It disappears for like 5 to 10 seconds. And then just like on the other side of the school, just like all the way back over here, you can barely see the plane. Like it somehow like went straight and then turned and was just flying. And they're like, oh, you should stop it before it breaks, or before anything like bad happens. And what I do is I try to like turn it around, but I don't change the throttle any. And I'm just like trying to turn it around and like back towards the parking lot where I'm going. However, it doesn't respond to any commands. So it just like keeps flying off into the distance. And I keep watching it. And it just goes like further and further into the distance. And I'm just like, this is fine. Yeah, so essentially what happened is it was out of command reach. So it was out of command reach. So what happens whenever the planes whenever the planes lose control, or at least these particular planes, is that they level off and just go straight at whatever they were commanded to. So it just like flew off into the distance. And these things have a battery life of like 30, 40 minutes. And they go like, I don't know, 20, 30 miles an hour at least. So it's gone. It's just like gone. So that's how I lost my RC plane within 5 minutes of using it. That my dad got me for Christmas. If drone, do they fly it? No GPS? No, so there was no GPS on it. That sounds like a very bad failure mode. You would think so. Why would it keep flying straight and not try to like land at all? I don't know, man. I don't know, Linted. But anyways, that's how I lost my plane. You hate to see it. I'm just looking for some resistors. We're gonna need some resistors. Depending on which ones. 1 second. Looking to see what we have. But obviously they need a little more effort on the programming side. Yeah. So, yeah, I was just hoping for the plane to come back. The plane never came back. We kind of went out looking for it briefly and just like, it was gone. So, you know, that plane is still probably flying somewhere. If someone would like to claim the plane, I give them full rights to said plane. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it more than I did. Because I only got to enjoy the plane for like 5 minutes, and that was mostly just crashing it onto the ground repeatedly. So yeah, that was my Saturday. Even a crash landing would have been better, though. Yes, it would have been better if it just crash landed. It did not, though. I'm gonna need this. Honestly, I need bigger resistors than that. Gonna need that. And we're gonna need a 10 kilo ohm resistor. Hold on, looking for a 10 kilo ohm. 10 kilo ohm. 22 kilo ohm. Can use a 22. I'd prefer not to. We could use a 22 in series. But yeah. Crashing is just part of the RC Elegoo branded resistors. I guess so. Also, hello, my wacky brain, and welcome in. Hopefully you're doing well today. 0, 47, 10, 2.2, 10. Sorry, I'm just looking for 10 kilo ohm. I for some reason don't have any 10 kilo ohm resistors. That just seems unlikely. Hold on. Hold on. Oh. Guys, I found the 10 kilo ohm resistor. Okay. Alright, so we'll use this and a mega. So that should give it a gain factor of 10 to the 6, gain factor of 100. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. Were they the last bag you looked at? No, worse. It was like I got them all out of the bag except for one that I didn't see, and it was just like the one that was hiding at the bottom of the bag. But that's okay. And also, hello, SFC Picket. Welcome in. Hopefully you're doing well today. I think it's infrared absorption CO and glucose monitor, right? I'm not sure if it's infrared absorption or how this technically works. I know you can just breathe into the sensor, and it does change the values, though. I've used this guy once on a previous project. It should work. Should work. Definitely preface should work. Okay, so we are going to need... Okay, so we are going to need 10 kilo ohm resistors. We are going to need the biggest resistors I have. Or, do I not have any bigger than 1 mega ohm? That's problematic. I only have a mega ohm resistor. I may need a bigger resistor. I may have to order a bigger resistor. No, it's gonna have to be okay. Okay. And then we are also probably going to need some other stuff. Okie dokie. Alright. So I'm also going to need some capacitors, so give me a second. We're also going to need probably dose capacitors. Let me see where they are. They're somewhere. Everything is somewhere. At least that's what I tell myself. Oh, and real quick, let me check my other resistor bag to see if I have anything bigger than 1 milliohm. 1 milliohm. That would be useful, but I don't think I do. 230, 1 milliohm. Okay. My RC plane is somewhere. Yeah, it's out there flying. Again, if you find it, you know, I left it all in one piece. Also, it's without the controller. Just use resistors in series to increase the resistance. Yes, that is something I can do. I would have just preferred not to, but I think that is our only play here. Okay. I need the capacitors. We need our caps. Okay. Let me see where our capacitors are. Resistor kit, capacitors. We're looking for capacitors, 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 capacitors. Those are op amps. Those are other resistors. And we're still looking for the caps, though. Where are my caps? Okay. At work, I needed a 1.2 giga ohm resistor, so just went around asking for a 1.2 giga ohm resistor. That was fine. Okay, hold on. I have a secondary backup thing of resistors. Hold on. 10k, 22k, 37k, 100k, 1 milliohm. Dude, these look quite a bit older. Hopefully they still work all the same. No, no, no. Okie dokie. Again, we are just on the lookout. There's a table on the lid, Ori? There's a table on the lid. Sag. Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna be perpetually short. It's fine. It's fine. We're used to being perpetually short. It's okay. We're always short equipment. Sigh. Okay. So I just need the caps. 1 second, looking for the caps still. Oh, there they are. I have a feeling these caps are too big, though. We can probably just use Chess kitty? What? Wait, what do you mean by chess kitty? I'm sorry, can you, like, what do you mean by chess kitty? Anyways, capacitors. Let me see if, actually, 1 second. There's one other thing I wanted to check for. Don't need the power kit, need the spare electronics kit. Okay. We need an explanation for that? Yes, we need an explanation, I agree. Picofarad, 10 to the 4th picofarads. I was looking for some ceramic. Oh, there we are. There we are. Yes, it's a cat. I'm so confused. Though I do play chess badly sometimes. That's okay. I also play chess badly sometimes. Most of the times, actually. But that's okay. 10 to the 4th picofarads. 10 to the 4th picofarads. Pico... Isn't 10 to the 4th picofarads just 0.1? You do not play badly. I mean, maybe. Also ripped my Philips Blues bulbs. They just died. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. 10 to the 4 picofarads. Hold on. I need to do a quick conversion. So I'd prefer to use these little guys if possible because it will be easier. We need to figure out 10 to the 4th picofarads to 10 to the 4th picofarads to microfarads. 0.01. Unfortunately, that's not what we need. Okay. If that is the case, we're better off using these. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to grab, probably just going to grab a smallest cap that we got, which are one of these guys, which are 0.47s. Wherever the smallest ones are. Okay. Yeah, 0.47 microfarads. We'll just go with this guy, 0.47 microfarads. Probably gonna need multiple microfarads. Hold on. Trying to see what these look like comparably. Oh gosh, they're the same size. Okay, that's not gonna help me at all. Yippee. 4.7 microfarads. 0.4 UF. I can't tell if these are... These are kind of poorly labeled, unfortunately. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Okay. Oh yeah, so... Let's see. What else has been going on? I want super nice on the leads, full spectrum leads on the bowl. Okay, no, that's too small. Or that's too big. Oh my gosh, why can't I find the... I'm just gonna have to find the 0.47s. That's one. .47. Okay, there we go. And one more for good luck. And okay, there we go. Sorry, just had to grab some. Just had to grab a few. All right, so next what we are going to need, so we aren't going to be using our ceramic capacitors. We are going to have to use the electrolytic ones, which are just these guys here. Next, what we are going to need is we are going to need to pick out what op-amp we are using. I think we only need a singular op-amp for this application. I sure hope. I sure hope. So we only have a single op amp, so what's next is we are going to grab one of those. So onto this guy here. Posture check is good. Thank you so much for the check. Let's see. We are probably... What am I thinking of here? I'll probably just use the dual op amp. So we'll probably just use a LM358 and just only use one of the op amps. Okay. Yay, I met my work quota for the day. Very nice. I need to buy more op amps. Okay. Let's just check. Probably will want 2. We can always use more. I just prefer not to. So I'm a bit confused. You said does either Bluetooth or Zigbee? Ugh, nothing of IoT in there. Right. So real quick, let's just check the silk screen on this guy. Hold on. Oh my gosh, it's hard to read. It's gonna be this way for you guys. I'm not sure if you guys can read that. It's difficult. It's difficult to see. But LM358 is what we are looking for. I believe these are both LM358s. Hold on, this one's a bit more legible. Okay, yeah, that one's quite a bit more legible. So you can see the LM358 there. So that's what we're looking for. Okay. I can't see. That's okay. You don't need to see. Seeing is overrated. In the current metagame, seeing is overrated. Yeah, this is also 358. Okay. Awesome. So, let's move onwards and upwards. What we need next is our... Okay, so we have our components picked out. What we need next is our testing strips, probably? Okay. So, the testing strips... Let's go ahead and get this guy out. There's still internet connected, though. Fair enough. I don't see they're on their VLAN. Oh, are you guys discussing IoT stuff? That's pretty exciting. Home assistant. Oh, okay. Oh, and I'll stop rambling about it. No. Feel free to talk about whatever. Okay, so essentially what we are looking for, if you guys did not know, like myself, on how blood glucose monitors work, is, in theory, based on the amount of... essentially a chemical reaction is formed whenever your blood goes across this little strip, and you are measuring the difference in voltage that you are seeing across these two layers. So what the thought is if we make a system that does the same, that is able to take these and get accurate values from them. They should just be a glucose dehydrogenase. Yes. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this guy going. I'm not an expert, but IoT stuff is exploitable. Yeah, IoT stuff's always going to be exploitable, though. Okay, so I got an engineering agency in review. Tomorrow, what shoes do I wear? Duct tape, hiking boots, or sandals? Note, we have some snow. You wear neither. You wear the hiking boots in, and then you swap. You swap boots in the parking lot to presentable shoes. That's what you would actually do if you are trying to get the job. Okay. Alright, so next circuit design. Alright, so roughly, let me save the image and show you guys what we're working with here. Alright. But yeah, if you could get some temp shoes. Okay. Just need images. Desktop. Pictures. Meep. All files. Meep. Okay. Let me just open this guy up. Great. We are looking for Meep. Pictures. Meep. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see it. So this is what we are trying to copy right now. Or make like similar. So we are trying to do something similar here. What we are paying attention to though is this guy in the top right corner. We don't care about the switch. We don't care about the analog to digital converter. Well, we do care about it, but we don't have to be using what they're doing for it because it is a little bit too rough. Wait, we have blueprints to follow? We have kind of blueprints to follow. A lot of this is gonna be like ad hoc, so yeah, smile. Okay, so essentially, the ADS, so right at my eye level, the ADS 115S is a analog to digital converter, I believe. So we will just be, wait, I'm pretty sure it's an analog to, I like how I just like say that. It should be an analog to digital converter, it looks like one. Has a 0 on it. Yeah, so we're only going to be using one input of the analog to digital converter. We are going to be using the analog to digital converter that's actually on our ESP. So this model is for an Arduino Uno. We will not be using the Arduino Uno. We are going to be using the ESP8266 because I love that little microcontroller, like far too much. And I'm attached. Additionally, on the top right, you just see an op amp here. They're only using one terminal out of it, or one set of terminals, so I think we will be fine with our little design here. So essentially, we are going to be substituting components and putting this together. So let's go ahead and start trying to construct this. Okay. Let me see. I'm mildly concerned about your attraction to the ESP8266. Some would say it's an unhealthy attachment. It's not unhealthy, okay? Listen, the resolution... That is a very good question, Useful Reptile. See, that is a very good question. Its resolution is a 10-bit ADC, so it's 1024. Which is a bit lower, unfortunately, than the model that was listed in there. But we should make it. We should be able to make do with it. I'm like 90% certain we'll be able to make do with it. One day we'll manufacture our own ESP8266. Exactly. Okay. Alright. So, that being said, let's take a look at this. The thing that we are very just concerned about is just doing this. So, in the top right corner, this is what we care about right now. A 2200 picofarad. Okay. Hold on, slightly different picofarad than I thought it would be. 2200 picofarads is 2 microfarads. So 2 1/2s. Okay, we'll figure that out. Anyways, we have to get our resistors placed. They're both 4.7. What we are going to do is I'm just going to use a breadboard, and we are going to put that together. I mean, what would people call an ESP? Is a sort of board, has an ESP on it, board periphery when needed, or you could try to build your own board. I could, but I won't. Chip fab is not my specialty. Let's just get this guy. 10 bits is probably good, but it might be worse than you think because you don't get to use the full range. Ran into this problem before. Yes, that is possible. Should be 0.22 nanofarads rather than microfarads, I think. Oh. nanofarads. Oh, yeah. No, that says picofarads. So pico is 10 to the negative 15th? Why did I think 16th? 15th, I think. Or if the ESP8266 has no fans, that is great. Hold on. Let me double check. Pico micro. Okay, am I just... Hold on. Am I just crazy here? 2200 picofarads to UF. Am I just like absolutely crazy? 2200 picofarads is 0.022 microfarads. And 2.2 nanofarad. Yes, but it's not related to the current issue. Okay, listen. The current issue is a skill issue. Oh boy. Thinking. We're thinking. We're thinking. We're thinking right now. Let's just set up the resistors first, then think later. Anyways, 2.47 or 4.7 resistors. We're just gonna use 5 of these. Dangerous, you know. Listen, I'm highly dangerous. Okay, I'm the most dangerous noodle this side of the Mississippi, or west side of. I don't know. East side, west side of Mississippi. I don't know which one. Wait, it'd be on the west side, I think. I don't know. You could literally. No, my brain is not giving out on hard work, okay? I'm just trying, okay? Also, hello, Wacky Brain, again. Need 5 for both. And then another set of 5. Point Nemo is the west side. I mean, isn't everything east and west? Is it like the nearest east or nearest west? Because the Earth is a globe? I hope that's not controversial. Is that considered controversial? Oh, so Wacky gets a hello, but I don't? What? Sparks, I said hi to you already. You've already... I already said hi to you. I thought... Like, you were... Okay, no. Cogs, you were talking about the following. That's not Sparks. Cogs, you were... Oh my gosh. No. Gosh. Cogs, you were talking about how it was your first day back at work, that you were behind because they didn't backfill you for the entire month, and that you had just gotten fried chicken to eat. Is that not what you are currently doing, or have? And also, hello, Maple. Welcome in. Also, is that a ham on rye emote? It is a ham on rye emote. That's cute. Tell me that wasn't correct, Cox. I'm sorry. I'm trying, okay? I'm trying. I'm trying. You know what? I'm trying. I apologize, but I didn't even get a hello. I said hello. I'm like 90% sure I said hello, Cox. Also, the hello is more of a formality. Like, I don't know. Anyways, it's fine. I feel like... Okay. It's fine. This is fine. Anyways, I am just going to kind of pre-bin these guys in place. I'm 99% sure you got a hello at the beginning of Stream IRC. Yes. Also, hello, Shinzi. Welcome in. I'll go back to work now. It's fine. I can't tell if you're actually joking with me, by the way. If I did actually something to make you angry, please let me know. The mere repetition of keys distract me. Where are my keys? Wait, we had the keys. Where are the keys? Keys? There were keys to jangle. I don't want to get my actual keys, and then you guys won't know what you guys will copy it, break into my house. be a whole thing. That's okay. That is okay. Oh, thank you so much, Shinzu, for subscribing. It is very much appreciated. Never necessary, but always appreciated. Okay. I should show off my keys. Fancy keys. Yeah, copies the keys of the house where I don't know what it is. It's fine. I'm sure I didn't get a hello, but just watching an orange. Listen, I'm trying, okay? I'm trying. I'm sorry I'm a bad streamer. I'm sorry I'm a bad streamer. I have made a continuous lapse in my judgment. That's all you guys get. That's all the keys you guys get. Okay. Time to graduate. Was that your actual keys? Those were my actual keys because I couldn't find the other ones. Okay, looking good. That's a lot of keys. I have a lot of keys, okay? I have a lot of keys, you know. I have... Okay, hold on. So... Or you seem like the type of person to have 70 things on their lanyard. I do not. I only have 3. I'll have you know. I only have 3. I only have 3. Okay, so the keys that I have on my keychain. I have a mail room key from 3 apartments, I think. Or from, like, an apartment. I have my dorm room key from college. Which is hilarious. I forgot to turn it in. I just kept the key forever. And then I also have my apartment key and my, like... my apartment key, my, another key. A secret key. It's a cool key. Ah, that's peanuts. Wait, why do you mention you have useless keys on your cheat? Wait, what do you... Okay. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. If you guys can trace back where I'm from a key, go for it. But, like, essentially, I had a, I used the dorm room key to open up, I used the dorm room key to open up packages because it was pretty sharp. So instead of, like, carrying a knife on me, I would just use my dorm room key to open stuff. And that continued for, like, years upon years. Or however long. 300-something years later. Anyways. Resistors. They go in line. Okay. Other way. Spark maker. I wonder why you know that. You know who else has useless keys? 8-year-olds. Okay. Listen. Nowadays, you just brandish your knife as you walk the streets. Boulder, I did that one time. You do that one time and you get labeled. Is this line parallel or series? It's going to be in series. I'm just gonna hop back and forth, realistically. Like, you brandish a knife it's not even brandishing. You use a knife like a few times to walk to your car and all of a sudden you're just like called a villain. I'm not a villain, okay? I'm not a villain. You didn't brandish your claymore pellet? Oh. What? What? I'm just a mad scientist. Listen, there's nothing wrong with being a little mad sometimes. I have to bounce this guy out slightly further. Okay, I'll put this in here. Wow, just brandish a firearm like a normal American? No. No, we won't be doing that. Okay. I'm trying to make this as compressed as possible, but unfortunately it doesn't fit on a single row. So I'm gonna have to space it out a few rows. Oh, the Claymore one. Yeah. Oh, and if you are new here, what we are currently working on is we are trying to make a blood glucose / carbon monoxide snackometer. So what it's going to do is it's going to be able to take our blood sugar and see if we're able to have a snacko. And then it is also going to be taking our carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide, same difference, or well, not same difference, those are different chemicals, but it's going to be detecting if we are currently digesting something, essentially, and be able to tell us if we're allowed to have a snack. And then we're going to fuse the sensors together. Yar. And again, the vibes that we go for here. So the vibes that we generally try to go for is like we are in a hackathon and just getting it. Chat, is this relevant to Ori? Just wondering. What? Oh, yes, this was from the Discord. I think. Okay, one more. Alright, this is the worst. This is the literal worst. Actually, no, there are way worse. But this is a bad way of doing it. But that's okay. Okay. Interesting device, maybe actually something kids should get these days before they use snacks. Exactly! Cursed resistors? Wait, how are these cursed? So again, I wasn't able to make them directly one for one because they would have bumped into each other. So, so I had to put a gap there. I'm sorry. There just had to be a gap. Doesn't have to be that big of a gap, though. Oh. Tan resistors are better? If you say so. You're entitled to having wrong opinions. Can I post a link? Yeah, of course. Okay. Same thing, just gonna cut this. Why did you cut them out of paper? Why did you cut them out of paper? What? What do you mean? So essentially, I'm trying to get them to be a certain length, Brink. So I want them to be as small as possible, but, yar. You can just pull the resistor ends out. Oh, yes, I know I can, but then... Okay, so if I were to do that, yeah, essentially I'd end up with extra length of wire that I don't need. That's the end result. So I'm just trying to trim this guy down, is why I'm doing it. Okay. Because she's not strong enough. I am strong enough, guys. I am strong enough. Come on, wire. Okay, there we go. I keep them full length when putting them in my breadboards. Yeah, Reptile... Are you judging tans VSs by spec or by color preference? Honestly, I've never dealt with anything that requires that accurate of a resistor that the, like, bands and stuff matter on them, to be perfectly honest. Like, if you want me... Like, again, if you wanted me to use the other resistors, you could have... Well, you could have, said something, and I would have used it probably, but... Yar. Also, hello, Comrade Soul. Card keys, bike key, 5 keys for my 5 keys for my building, 2 keys for my house, key for fob. Wow. Yeah, the most keys that I ever carried on me would be back in high school. I had keys to... Again, like my senior year, I had keys to every room in the school. So that was probably when I had the most keys. Like, probably like... I don't know. How many keys did I have? Probably like 30 or 40. Give or take. It was a massive amount of keys. Good stuff. Good stuff. Never again. Well, yeah, because those the keys to the entire school, Shinzu. Ever heard of master keys? There were master keys, but that doesn't, So master keys don't... Master keys don't work on every single door because some doors are different. Like, so I had a key that worked for every single classroom, but for instance, the nurse's office had a different key. The athletics rooms had different keys, like that type of stuff. And also, I should have put this one more down. I wanted to put this one. I need to put this slightly further down so we'll have room. Okay. Probably here should be fine. Tan resistors are carbon film, blue resistors are metal film. Blue have a tolerance of 1%, have 5%, so they do have a spec difference, but personally I like the resistor. Okay. The school did not have a proper key plan. I mean, I guess. I don't know of any school that's like, oh man, let's make sure all of our keys match. Dude, it was nice though, being able to just like go grab soda out of the teacher's lounge. Or have keys to every, you know, it was just a convenient thing. Oh, so those keys were just left out. I wonder if I could still get them. Nope. Nope. We're moving to everyday carry. Oh no, I just carry keys, wallet, lanyard. Nowadays. Hold on. Again, I'm trying to make this at least kind of compressed, so we aren't having to deal with too much issue down the lane. Alrighty. Thank you for the hydration. Thank you for the hydration check. I am definitely in the need for hydration. Okay. I hope you guys are all having a good stream, by the way. I'm having a pretty good stream. It's a good vibe. We are on good vibes. I carried a Leatherman with me for 23 years. Absolutely the best turtle I've ever owned. Actually, I've been meaning to find a new one in retirement, but I'm very... Oh, okay. We had to pay for a new lock safety key if only one was missing in our group room. Ooh, that's rough. Blue resistors. Is someone flexing money here? Fuzzlings. Hello, Fuzzlings. Welcome in. Hopefully you're doing well today. No, we could switch resistor types. But again, like, yar. I don't know what I'm supposed to say in these situations. I just work here. I don't even work here. I just do this for fun. Single engineer money. Yeah. Listen. Single engineer money is... What else are you going to do? Save for retirement? She is also cutting the ends off for aesthetic and ease of use. Okay, so that's not... Okay, so you will legitimately run into issues, Pokemon, if you do not. If you do not trim them. Like, you will run into issues with the actual... I actually do ... What? You will run into issues, though, if you do not trim the resistors. You'll get, like... You'll essentially get shorts without meaning to. Save for retirement? I do save for retirement as well. I just mean that I don't. Alright. So again, we're just doing 2 sets, so the idea is just to put these guys in series. Starting at 1A here, or 1B. That looks fine, that looks fine, that looks fine, that looks fine, that looks fine. Yes, this is a bit messy, but this is just so we could fit it all. And then the same thing across here. Again, we don't want any shorts, so that's why we're spacing it apart ever so slightly. You didn't spend your entire 401k on a VTuber model? No, I tried to, man. I tried to. I want to. I would be happy to, not like my entire 401k, but I would be happy to drop money on a VTuber model. If you guys know any artists, you know, throw rock. Okay, so same thing. I just wanna... We start sampling there, we end sampling here. Okay. So we're just going to check the resistivity real quick to make sure all of our connections are in place. Give me a moment. Oh, thank you so much for following, Fuzzlings. I hope you have a good time here. Hopefully you do. Or he's gonna buy a house husband to cook for her. No, no, McDonald's is cheaper than that. Okay. Would a 3... Sorry, I just EMP'd my device. Apologies. I actually kind of have plans for it. Companionship. Whoa. Companionship in this economy? Okay. Just need a male-to-male wire. Yeah, it's okay. I'll just make my own. Bingo cards out. EMP. I need to make an EMP counter. There are no bingo cards. Technically, I'm a wife's house husband right now. We're a lot cheaper than you might expect. I mean, are you? No. Also, McDonald's franchises cost, like, in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, if I recall correctly, to get. They are quite the investment. Alright, let's go ahead and just make a wire real quick. Yep. Ooh, that wire box is nice. Yes, it is solid core wire. Just so we don't have to worry about placement. Alright. Yeah, my wife works as manager. I stay home, clean, watch the kids. At this point, McDonald's is more of a real estate than a food company. Agree. Let's just go ahead and get this guy open. Absolutely no issues. I haven't gotten the listen box in a few streams, though. Also, that doesn't count. I feel like the listen thing has to be organic, not just like me forcing it. I should get some solid core wire. Yeah, I have mostly solid core wire. I just, again, like solid core is easier for me to A, mentally deal with, and B, solder. Like, I know you have to heat the solid core wire longer, but it's just easier. Just easier that way. I have like 10 meters of 5-string solid core wire. They're a bit on the thin side for breadboards, but nice for perf boards. Very nice, useful reptile. Well, there was a chance that I was going to put this on a perf board, but I have a feeling that will get very bad very quickly. So for the moment, I think I will avoid it. Anyways, I just need to check this. Easier to get rid of isolation without damaging the wires themselves. Yeesh. So there and there. Let me just get my voltage meter out, and then we'll sample and make sure that we're good. And that our connections are good. This will just save us time later, so we aren't stuck wondering why. Why isn't it working? Why? Okay. Seriously though, where are the keys? Sorry, I'm kind of looking for the keys I had earlier, but I don't see them. Okay. It's okay. I don't need them. Don't need them. Okay. Yes, solid core has its place in electronics. Yeah, it's just harder to solder, no? Did you check your other pockets? I'll check. No. It's not in my other pockets either. I found a job posting that pays up to. See, up to is a very Monka-S description, in my opinion. Up to implies they're hiding something. Alright. I need something. Why do I keep feeling like chicken? I am looking for a alligator clip. That's what I need. Alligator clip. Also, after stream, I really need to clean up my lab. It has fallen into disrepair. My roommate, who has been here for 2 to 3 weeks, maybe in the past 3 months, always have a habit of leaving his door open. So my point is, if he wakes up... Oh no, that's not going to be a problem. You just, like, growl at them if they judge you for eating ice cream at 2 a.m. Like, it's perfectly acceptable to be eating ice cream at 2 a.m. Like, that's normal. This is fine. Seriously though, where are my alligator clips? One sec. Oh, there's... that will have to do. Oh my gosh. Nope. Apologies. Looking for alligator clips. Struggle busing. And also, I want to say that I did find an alligator clip, however, comma, like, alligator clip, however, it's missing one. Okay. Growing up is realizing that eating ice cream at 2 a.m. is a perfectly reasonable choice. I suppose so. If you say so. Anyways, this should be approximately 5 mega ohms. Retro Raggy. Okay. So, first things first. Let me see if I can get... I feel like I'm slightly in the way here. Okay, so we are looking at our connection here. It's saying we have a short. Because when we go here, it's still saying low. So, let me just check the other one first. Alright, well, it's easy enough to just poke around. Okay, so we're just gonna poke around and figure out which one's not plugged in. Give me a moment. So, this should be a mega ohm. Then from here to here is 2. Then to here is also 2, I think. Okay, that's the problem. Which means one of these sides is not all the way in. It's that one. Okay. So it's this one right here that's having issues. And this is why we check beforehand. Or this is why we check. Because if we don't check now, 5 years from now, it will get... Is your meter not measuring above 2 mega ohms? No, it should. It should. If not, I will cry. And the meter wouldn't want me to cry. Right, meter? What? Bro, what's wrong with me? Sorry. Oh my gosh, if that's the actual case, I'm gonna make lose it. It might actually be limited. If that is the case, we do have counterplay. I just have to do it one by one. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna have to go one by one. That's weird. I guess that is the limit. I don't know, when was the last time you tortured your meter? Yeah, mine goes up. It should be fine, I thought, but anyways. So this will be 2. 5 milliohms is a bit high. Okay, so we're just gonna have to check wire to wire and make sure it's okay. So, first one. First one. Okay, so first one's fine. Second connection would be here to there. Is fine. Third connection would be here to there. Third connection's fine. Fourth connection would be here. And then fifth connection would be here. Alright. Not Mahome. Not Momes. Momes? What? Anyways, we are fine. Let's go ahead and check the other ones. Make sure that we are also looking frosty. Okay. down to here. That's fine. Step down to here. That's fine. Step down to here. Also fine. And last one. Okay. Yeah, so we're looking good. Alright, so we are good. Resistors are in line. They seem fine. Let's move onwards and upwards. Next, let's go ahead and work a bit on the CO2 sensor. Because that's easier, is the cope that I'm gonna tell myself. Alright, we'll need to mod the meter next time. Oh, wait, what do you mean mod the meter? Gonna need... yeah, probably female to female. Okay. So in this device, we might need... I'm debating if we need a voltage drill real quick. One sec. It's time to open... or crack open a cold one. 1 second. I need to crack open a cold one. Alright, apologies. Cracking open a cold one. By cold one, I mean an ESP8266, not sponsored. No. Sadly, Ori doesn't do tool builds. What? I mean, not yet. Not yet. Yeah, I got another set. Dude, I'm up to like 30 of these guys. I'm just finding them everywhere, okay? They're gonna be in the shower. They're gonna be in the shower. They're gonna be in my kitchen. They're gonna be everywhere. And they're gonna be in my bedroom. I have ESPs everywhere. I have butterbeer at home to crack a cold one. Yeah, anywho. Just need to get this guy connected. Do they make the ESP8266 step board with USB-C? They do. I just don't use them. I literally bought them, and I was like, wait, why cable no work? I just don't use it. But they do make them. I'm not sure if they sell them on Amazon, though. But they definitely do make them. Okay. So, one thing I need to check real quick is a data sheet regarding this guy, so I'm going to look up the data sheet real quick. I'll see if I can pull it up for you guys as well. Give me a moment. Okie-dokie. Ah. No, we'll just... what should I even do with the meter? I'm wondering if there's any components I can salvage from this meter as well. But that's neither here nor there. Sorry, I get distracted easily. I get squirreled very easily. So what we are going to look up real quick is this guy. Okay, so I need to see the data sheet for it. So we're looking for an SGP30 data sheet. Alright. And then I'd also like SGP30 example code, because I'm lazy. Yippee. Okay, that's future me's problem. Alright, let me see if I have an actual technical data sheet. Here we are. SGP30 package. Okay, yeah, this looks correct. Give me a second to just open it on a separate browser. Image. Or actually, it would be an application capture, SGP data sheet, and then data sheet. Okay. So, real quick, let's go ahead and comb over our SGP 30 data sheet. This is more of a promo material than an actual data sheet. However, what we are interested in is the operating voltage, because I do not know that off the top of my head. Hope I tried to leave no text. You all have a good stream. Oh yeah. Have a very good night, Telegreen. Wait, what? Hold on. Did something bad happen? Okay, no. Alright, sorry, was just checking. Alright. We are operating at 25 degrees centigrade. Accuracy, resolution does not matter. What we are looking for is supply voltage. Supply voltage. Here we are. Okay, so supply voltage, electrical specifics. That's interesting. Okay, so it's saying the supply voltage is 1.6 to 1.98 volts, which is a oddly specific amount of oddly specific amount of voltage. Looking further in, it looks like it is able to operate from negative 0.3 volts to 2.16 volts. That is also not what I would expect. So the next thing that I would ask is double checking something. So what I'm going to do is, at this point, we go into the promotional material. So if we look at the promotional material, actually, it's easier to probably just see on the board. There's more electronics than just what's shown, right? There's more electronics than what's shown here, than just the sensor. So the little sensor is the guy in the middle. So it's this guy with the white dot on it. So I imagine that there's some power regulation here. So it can take a more common voltage, I hope. I certainly hope that there is, or else we are going to run into issues very quickly. But worst comes to worst, we can supply 2 volts or 1.9 volts or whatever the requirement is. It would just be something that we would have to deal with separately and make an active note on. Okay, so this is more promotional material than an actual data sheet. So these are data sheets. Those are typically what you're looking at. This is what you should be looking at if you're looking for like bread and butter stuff. However, comma, that is not what we need. Alright. So, if you check the promotional material, they say they've broken it out and added a 1.8 voltage regulator and level shifting, so allow you to either use it with 3.3 or 5 volt systems. So as expected, they did put some power regulation in there, so we can run it off of 3.3 volts or 5 volts, which means we can supply it from our microcontroller. And that is indeed our sensor that we're dealing with. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this guy connected. So if you take a quick look, because this guy's easier to see than the physical device, what we need to pay attention to is VN and ground. And we will be supplying ground and 3.3 volts respectively. What's the way to say that sentence? Respectfully? Respectively? Anywho, just go ahead and get this guy connected up. Respectively. Thank you. Sorry. Ever so slightly not great with speech. Okay, we just need to ground in our power. Okay. But I'm sure you'll also be respective, of course. Yes, we will be, Ryu. Listen, that's what we do. We do our best, okay? Alright, so ground power. And then I just need to get this guy wired. I believe, if I recall correctly, I believe there's a single LED on this guy to indicate power. I want to say it's in the top corner, but I don't recall 100%. Anyways, just get this guy connected. Give me a moment. Dude, I hate dealing with header pins. Okie dokie. Alright, and then ground 3.3. Let's go ahead and see if we can get an LED out when it's properly powered. I'm not 100% expecting one, but it would be nice to see. And I think we will try to aim to get the sensor working before end of stream at a minimum. Okay, there you go. And then if we just power you. Up, 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 up. Okay. So real quick, let's just power the device and see if we get any output. Not like any output, but LED indication. So if you look very carefully, there is a little LED indicator on the device in the top corner by my finger, or by my middle finger. You'll see the LED there to indicate that it has power, which is good. That's what we want to see. Next, we need to make sure that our line is correct. Okay. So next we need to set an I2C connection up. So what we'll need is a line to our clock and our data line. I don't think we'll need... I think we can... Oh, apologies. I think we can skip one of the pens, but we're gonna need the other two. Hello, Mothman. Welcome in. Good to see you. Yeah, I2C. Nah, I'd rather make my own bespoke version of I2C that is just strictly worse. That's what I do. Alright. So, looking on this guy, we have... Alright. Okay. So, again, we have SDA on the far over here. So, over here we have SDA, which is our data line, and then our clock line is right next to it, so that's what we're going to be connecting to. So, clock is closer to the ground wire, and then our SDA is on the far. Very educational. Listen, we going with TCP with Twitch? Twitch communication protocol, yeah. No, we won't be doing Twitch communication protocol. Alright, so let me just get these guys plugged in. Okay. Listen. Did I say listen? Well, apologies. Making a custom I2C protocol is very educational. I mean, theoretically, I suppose it is, but it would be also very inefficient because I could not make a better protocol. I could not make a better protocol than I2C with the same number of lines. At best, I could do something that is equal. Okay. So anyways, what we need next is a quick image to see what our microcontroller is expecting us to do. So give me just a moment. We are going to need... Oh my gatos. I'm struggling. We're struggling. We're struggling. We're crying. Okay. Okay. Here we are. Okay, posture is good. Thank you for the check. And hydration is good. I'm going to swap the camera battery because the camera battery is probably going to go off in the next minute. So I'm going to swap the camera battery before I forget about it. Okay, let's swap the camera battery. One moment. Okay, I'm back. I've had to make some very simple communication protocols before, mostly in FPGA context. It's a pain. Well, don't you just use, like, AXI for that, then? Alright, so what we are looking for here is the following. We are looking for our clock and data line. So if you look in the top right corner, you'll see that we have a SCL, which stands for the clock line, and a data line. So that's on GPIO 5 and 4. This is going to limit the amount of I/O we'll have on the end system. I do not think it will be necessary if it is needed. If we need more than 3 I/O for our blood glucose monitor, we'll either use an additional board or a mux. Probably an additional board. Anywho. Let's go ahead and get this guy hooked up. So again, if you check the silk screen, that is on D1 and D2. So in the top right, that is the second pin and the third pin. So I just want to make sure those are matched up. Imagine having to do Axie without libraries. Also, my master's thesis was the implementation of some very abstract communication program in Haskell for FPGAs. It was a mess. Yeah, the little exposure I have to FPGAs is mostly in Vivado. So I don't have a terribly high amount of experience in it. Okie dokie. So our clock line is orange. Clock line be orange. So clock line is number 2, and that is orange. Just make sure that these guys are hooked up. FPGAs are fun, but the tool chains are monstrous. Yeah, the things that you can do with an FPGA are super good. Oh, wait, Useful Reptile, were you around when we had that? There was a very good discussion we had about FPGAs and the difference between FPGAs and ASICs and like where they come into play. Like FPGAs, ASICs, and microcontrollers, and how they interplay with each other. Oh, you missed a fun one! Yeah, we had a little conversation about like generally where you want to use them and how they're used in different circumstances. And FPGAs are kind of like your Lego building blocks. They're very good for getting something that's close to the end product, but no, not all the way. Well, actually can be used all the way too, but they get expensive, dude. Anyways. Let's go ahead and see. FPGAs are like breadboards, ASICs are like pref boards, custom chips like custom PCBs. Yeah, ASICs are you spin them once and hope it works, because if not, you just wasted hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially more or less. So don't mess it up. Smile. I think that was only a couple of days ago the VOD would be around, assuming you talked about it. I'm so distracted right now, I'm liable to miss things. Yeah, it was talked about on stream not too long ago. It should still be in VOD somewhere. But yes, it was a fun little conversation. Would suggest. Anyways, what we are going to do here... Alright, I believe I have some code to test this guy out, as I've used this sensor once before. Let me see if I'm able to find it. If I actually categorized it properly. I believe I did. Which is kind of surprising, but, yeah. Let's make like a tree and a leaf. Nope, I have example code. Okay, so I don't have fully portable code, unfortunately, but I can code it, I guess. Smile. We had a project at uni where they actually produced chips, cost some tens of thousands or euros for like 10 to 15. Each chip had all the designs on there. I actually have one of them. It was my coolest possessions by far. Oh, so are you talking about like having an individual wafer? Or are you talking about having... Let's make like a tree and copy paste from the internet. No, let's make like a tree and hope that this works. Please work. Please, 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 please work. You could make it was a tiny tab out thing, I believe. Oh, okay, cool. Very cool, very cool. Give me a second. Okay, so code there, and then what we need is a application capture, and we need to switch to this guy. Alright, let's go ahead and code up the interface real quick. So what do we care about? the first thing that we care about is our library. We are, for a fact, going to have to use the Adafruit library for this guy, because I would sooner cry than interpret I2C. So that's that. We are going to use the Guten Abend drive-in. Oh, okay. Good evening to you as well. I'm not sure if that's good evening or good night, but hello. Good something. Alright. Then what we need is we need to make the object. Adafruit SGP 30. So I do have some previous code, however, the code is only for, the code is, partially intermixed with some MPU code, which we do not need. And, it will just be quicker if I just type and copy-paste what we need. Okay, hopefully the Adafruit library supports ESP8266 and not just the ESP32. It does. And if not, I will... Hold on. Why'd you have to put that juju on me? Why'd you have to put that juju on me? Like, you didn't have to, you know. You didn't have to say, oh, maybe it's not compatible. I was hoping... You know, I was hoping that it wouldn't be, anyways. Made Tron. That's super cool. I can't say... What's the most interesting thing I made in school? The most interesting thing I made in school, or while I was in school, was a 3D object scanner made of infrared sensor arrays and some stepper motors, and then a lot of processing. A whole bunch of processing. Way too much processing. Dude, I milked like 3 projects out of that, by the way. It was great. It was great. Like, I got my project for, like, my junior design done. I got my project for, like, one of my coding courses. I got lots. Got lots. It was good. It was good. 9 out of 10. Would do again. Wait, 3 projects? Yes. Or, 2 or 3. I think 3. We've never had reusable projects. Oh, no. The project wasn't reusable. It was just such an effort that you could break it up into multiple different portions. So it was responsible for taking in all of your sensor data and processing it. So the entire processing part was almost a separate project in itself, because you're performing a inverse radon transform on it to get what you wanted. And that was very hard to process. And then once you processed that in MATLAB, you had to export it as like a data grid, or in a separate data grid, to a custom script that was written to in SolidWorks. What was the word? So in SolidWorks, it would essentially make the individual points representing where your object was detected, and then stack those points to make an STL. And that was rough. That was rough to get working, but it did work. It was able to scan objects pretty well. And then, of course, you had the physical design. Yeah, it worked pretty well. It got, like, second place. The person who got first place did a cool project, too, I guess. Not salty. Anywho. Okay, SGP... what we need to do is we need to make a variable here. I'm sorry, we made a system once with 4 MATLAB threads. No, we don't do threads here. Don't worry, Reddy. You'll run into MATLAB at some point, and then you can join us in hating it. I actually really... Uh-oh. A controversial take. I actually really like MATLAB. MATLAB was the... It's not really a language, but it's the first language that I, like, actually understood very well. Don't worry, Ori, I also like MATLAB. Yeah, but as a software engineer, that's an extremely controversial thing to say. That to say I like MATLAB, that's not something one should do. MATLAB's great for a bunch of things, but terrible for the monster systems that we had to make. Yeah, it's also very bad and should be avoided in, like, time-optimized solutions. Maybe it's brain damage. Maybe it's the brain damage. Yeah, that is true. Again, all VTubers have a massive amount of brain damage. Diagnosed or undiagnosed. Smile. I don't actually have brain damage, I think. Wait, do I? Wait, how would I know if I had brain damage? That's okay. Figure that out later. Dioxide norm. You go to a specialist. I see. MATLAB is cool except for being too expensive. Yeah, the price of the licenses are also pretty bad, aren't they? Norm equals 400. Rough composition in atmospheric air. I think. ... Smile emoji. All other teams wouldn't try if measure pens. We were just flooring it, feeding terrible position data to a very well-made Kalman filter. Oh my gosh, not a Kalman filter. Dude, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We don't like Kalman filters in this house. We don't like common filters, okay? I like Kalman filters, just implementing them is painful. Very painful. Then again, first order Kalman filters aren't bad, but how many orders was your Kalman filter? Was it like multiple? Or was it singular? Was it just the first order? Alright. And apologies, right now I just need to make sure that we are doing the measurement repeatedly. And then if SGP IQ measure carbon dioxide measurement equals SGP ECO2. Okay. I don't know, I did the navigation and GUI parts. Dude, I cannot do GUI to save my life. I haven't done GUI since, like, middle school. Oh, no, that's not true. I did a tiny bit of MATLAB Guide, if you guys have heard of that. MATLAB Guide is absolutely terrible. Don't use it. Anywho. As a comp sci person, this MATLAB talk is meaningless. Because your experience with soldering, do you mind if I ask for a little bit of advice? Yeah, sure. Go for it. If not, Sparks Maker is literally, or was a professional, like, and can probably answer your questions if I cannot. Weight nested Kalman filters? Yeah, so Kalman filters can have multiple orders. Boulder. If I recall correctly. That's been a bit. And then we just want a serial. So, just want a serial, probably. So, serial dot print line, and then carbon dioxide measurement. Oh my gosh, measurement. Oh my gosh, just copy and paste, sorry. And then throw a delay on it so we aren't spamming it. The order is 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1. No, not like that. It's hard to put into words. Apologies. Let's see. we need a serial. We're going to need a serial connection. I'll just start that up here. Serial dot begin. 600. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Am I missing anything? Yeah, let's find out. It'll be pretty quick to figure out if we're missing something. Retro. Retro Racky. We have some errors. That's a simple error. So first order, second order filters common that predicts the output of another common filter. I've been slowly working on modding my Game Boy SP. I keep stopping myself and resoldering some parts. I'm worried I'm gonna mess it up. Run how to work past. Just make sure you don't overtemp it. And as long as you don't as long as you're not overexposing it, and then as long as you're not missing, where you should be soldering, it should be okay. Though I do not know with the Game Boy SP the exacts, of course. Oh, it's my bad. Code work? No? Code did not want to work. Okay. Code says ECO2 is bad. Okay. 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 CO2, C02. Well, same thing. No, that's just wrong, dude. There's no way that's correct. Hold on. I refuse to believe this is correct. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. I was going to be very, 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 very sad if that was the case. Oh, close one. I was very worried there. Alright, code compiled. Let's go ahead and give it a quick test. Again, this is pretty simple code, so the only thing that we're really doing right now is we are just adding in the SGP30 library. We are just initializing a serial connection, and then after we initialize a serial connection, we are just starting up the sensor. Then we're measuring the sensor once for its nominal value, and then we are just measuring it every 1 second for the current value. So pretty straightforward, right? Let's go ahead and see if we can get this guy reprogrammed. If you can swing it, grab another mod so you're not something essential. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Don't modify your main. Always commit. Okay, I've been doing a little practicing, but all the practicing has been normal soldering, not micro. Oh yeah, isn't that... Wait, are you having to do like surface mount level components? Because that would be extremely difficult. Alright, serial monitor. Alright, so see the value. That's fine. 400 is the expected. So if I get close, in theory I should get something other than 400. Give me a second. Carbon dioxide, SGP measurement. Give me a sec. Carbon dioxide norm. Alright, so we're seeing a little bit of an issue. It's saying it's 400 precisely, which I don't think is correct. I'm going to power cycle it and see if we get anything different. I would expect different values there. So let's go ahead and take another look at this guy and see if we are running into an error. The thing that doesn't make sense here... Okay, we did get a different value. Hold on. I have an idea. Guys, I have an idea. I have an idea. It's not a good idea, but I have an idea. Cool. Okay, so we are able to see the difference whenever we produce some. We trust your ideas. Yeah. Ow. Kind of. It's okay. We burn ourselves a little. That's science. Okay. So The only thing that I care about now is, let me put this to my face and see if we get different values. If not, we're going to have to figure out something else. I'm going to hold my breath for a second. All right, and you see significantly higher values, yes. So it is working. That's a good thing. Okay. At least that puts us with one sensor working. Okay. So essentially that number should go up whenever you're digesting something actively. We should actually take... We're going to do a bit of data collection real quick to take some nominal values. We are going to have to figure out... What's the best way of doing this? Do an averaging filter. We could just do it on vibes. Time to break out the crowns. No, we are not eating any crowns. The problem is whenever you breathe in and out, you're getting different values. Okay. Hold on, let me take a deep breath and just, like, exhale. We could also just take the peaks, which would be fine, of course, but... We might just take the peaks, now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, so what I'm going to do real quick is we are going to make sure that, A, I'm not physically exerted, which I'm not. So I'm not currently physically exerted at all, which is good. That's expected. Have a nice steady pulse. I haven't eaten anything. Oh yeah, if you guys noticed, I made sure not to put like chocolate or anything edible on the redeem for today. That's why there was a question, because I wanted there to not accidentally muddy the waters on this. So give me a second. So what we're going to do is just take the, I don't know, we'll take like 10 measurements, see what the average max is whenever we are just exhaling. So let's go ahead and do that. Crowns would have been fine. Yes, crowns would have been fine. I believe that's why they were on the list, because they don't have any calories. They shouldn't raise your blood sugar, I think. Can you turn on your plotter? Sure, of course. So that would just be serial plotter. And then we would need to, instead of showing off that guy, we show up our serial plotter. So this is the serial plotter that you requested. So if we breathe into this guy, it should go up significantly. Okay. So yes, that's what we need to see. So we essentially need to see what the peak is going to be. I'm not going to hold my breath for any specific time. I'm just going to be passively breathing in and out. I mean, I breathe out through my nose, though. I guess I'll be a mouth breather for a bit. Maybe I'll just, like, blow into it like I'm blowing out a cake. As long as it's consistent, it should be fine. Oh, wait, is it not detecting it from your nose? Hold on, let me check. Oh, it totally is. Apologies. I don't know why I didn't think it wouldn't detect it. Thank you, Ryu. That's why they pay you the big bucks. I'm just trying to stay quiet so we get constant values. Apologies. No, so what holding your breath would do, let me hold my breath. So that's what holding your breath would do. It would cause the concentration of the gas to go up significantly. So unfortunately, I don't think we want to do that. I think the best path forward is just us using a constant breathing output. So I think what we'll do is we'll take an average of whatever we see on our peaks. I think that's the safest path forward. What's your guys' thoughts on that? Can you change the sampling rate? I feel like something more than... Sure, give me a second. We can change the sampling rate. I'm going to change the sampling rate to 200 milliseconds instead, so that is 5 times a second. So that would get us a cleaner and less jagged curve. I believe it should, assuming that we don't run into issues with sampling, with essentially sampling too frequently. Though I don't think 200 milliseconds is too frequently on this guy. We could check the datasheet and verify that. I'm almost positive, though. Hello there. We're measuring snack requirements? Yes. So essentially we're measuring our blood glucose and our carbon dioxide output to see if we're able to have a snack. Because that's a perfectly logical thing to do. So anyways, if I place this near... Just breathe in. The problem is, like, how much do you breathe in? I think it might be easier to blow than breathe. Yeah, because that looks like... Because that was... Hold on. Like, a normal level of breath, you would be best suited to not look at it for a few moments. Okay, let me just look away for a second. Okay. We're hitting more consistent results. Yeah. I'm kind of worried about that. Because if I want to... I mean, yeah. Okay, I guess that's what we'll do. We'll take constant breaths and then average that out over time. Let's go ahead and just get our norm across, like, I don't know, 20 breaths and take the average and figure out what that guy is going to be. So just a moment. Okay. Apologies. for the lack of talking, we were just taking some values. So I believe it's sitting at roughly about 18,000 across multiple breaths. We will have to get a bit more consistent across, but right now we are just going to notate down that value. So as long as we notate down that value, I think that will put us in okay condition. So I was seeing breaths as high as values as high as 25,000, and as low as about 15,000. Average and nominal values appears to be 18,000. Okay, excellent. So we have our values. We are going to use these for nominal baseline values. I'm really hoping it will be more obvious whenever we are eating or having eaten recently to see. But we should be okay. So given that, I think we are at a good stopping point. So we've taken our data. We have our initial thing for our carbon dioxide detection, or monoxide, dioxide. Either way, our breath output, we're able to get it to see how much we are currently actively processing, so long as we are maintaining activity and everything else. The only other things that we need to do is we'll need to get the blood glucose meter working, and we will get that working, or try to get it working, on Wednesday. So we will be streaming again on Wednesday. Hopefully you guys can be around. If not, that's perfectly okay. I really appreciate you guys being around today. Is there anyone in particular you guys would like to raid? Because I am down to raid whomst ever, pretty much. But really, I'll probably just raid... yeah, we'll see who's live, actually. Slaps live. I'm not sure. Is there anyone you guys would like to raid? Also, I have no idea how to make this into a raid message. If anyone has, like, any, like, raid idea thingies, that would also be great. So yes, I will be streaming again on Nova Liminal. Snack calendar. Let's see. Have you heard of this small streamer? We're not rating Vettel. Vampire Machine Time? Sure. Okay, Vampire Machine Time. Perfect. That also works. Perfect. Well, we just copy cogs, right, and move on. That will be our can we eat it. Okay. And we will go ahead and raid over to, I don't know, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't know who to raid into, guys. Not Vettel. We're not raiding into Vettel. You know, we'll raid into Mini. We'll raid into Mini. Yeah, we'll raid into Mini. Sure. Okay, thank you guys so much for the stream. I will be in the Discord after, if you guys want to hang around or say hi. I hope you guys have a very good evening, afternoon, and night, and I will see you guys on the flippity flip. Okay? Cool. Alright.